So, good morning, and thank you all for being here. And if you see a few of us in the room occasionally taking a deep breath, it's a deep breath of excitement, and it's a breath of the culmination of 2 years of very hard work and a very positive and difficult journey to get to this day. So we are here today to officially launch the new community-based mental health organization for London-Middlesex with services in Exeter and Goderich. And it's my pleasure to be your host today. My name is Don Seymour, and I'm the newly minted Chief Executive Officer of this corporation, and very excited to be very excited to be leading a group of people that are also excited about what the future holds for services for persons with mental illness in the communities where we'll be operating. And what I will say very quickly about this team is they are going to be very easy to lead and very difficult to manage. And that's the type of team that anybody would want to have working with them. So without further ado, we'll get on with introducing our guests. And just very quickly before the comments start, we'd like to thank our guests. We have Dave Gardner, a long client of CMHA, but formerly known as WOTCH, who's here to help us unveil the new name. We have Claudia Moore-Eckel, who has graciously and thankfully stepped up to be the new board chair of our amalgamated organization. Minister Deb Matthews, thank you very much. The chair of the Southwest Lynn, Jeff Lowe, and the CEO of the Southwest Lynn, Michael Barrett. So thank you all for being here. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Honourable Deb Matthews, the Minister of Health and Long-Term Care, Deputy Premier of Ontario, MPP for North London, and as we all know her, Deb, a member of the community who really cares. So.
Well, thank you. It is fantastic to be here today celebrating some extraordinary vision and some extraordinary leadership. You know, the world of mental health is changing so rapidly and for the better. And I'm enormously proud of the leadership role that people here in London are taking when it comes to making the world better for people facing mental health challenges. When you get 3 agencies who decide that they can serve their clients better when they work together, and they have spent the last 2 years wrestling through all of the things that go with amalgamation, I know it takes enormous leadership and courage. I have a confession to make. I was on the board of Big Sisters of London for many, many years, and we debated the amalgamation with Big Brothers. And I was firmly on the do not amalgamate side. I'm ashamed to say that. Once I left the board, they decided to amalgamate. But I know how hard it is when you're part of an organization with a specific vision and a way of doing things. It's really hard to imagine a better future working with others. But that's exactly what you did. I want to say thank you for that, because your decisions and your leadership will result in better care for people. We are focused as a ministry on mental health like we have never been before. And we are going to continue to double down on that commitment. We know that the mental health issues, every family faces mental health challenges. There is no family that doesn't experience addiction or mental health challenges. Where this is about all of us. But for too long, mental health has been in the shadows. For too long, we didn't talk about it. For too long, we pretended it didn't happen. And for too long, we have stigmatized mental illness. So as we are shining a light, and as we are working to destigmatize and honor people facing mental health challenges, removing that stigma has profound impact for individuals, profound impact for their families, and profound impact for the community. The terror of stigmatization really is something we must continue to work to overcome. There is stigmatization of the other. There is stigmatization of the self, that so people facing mental health challenges don't want to accept that they have to that there is help for them. And I am increasingly aware of the impact of stigmatization within the healthcare system, so that people who have mental health challenges not getting the care they should get, because there still remains, I hope to a lesser degree, but there still remains stigmatization amongst providers and amongst funders. So we are smashing that. We are breaking down those barriers. We are acknowledging that mental health is a vital component of a healthy and vibrant community. And as long as we ignore mental health and addiction challenges, we're not going to be as good as we can be. So I want to say thank you to I see Michael Petrenko. Where are you? They're way in the back. I want to say thank you for your leadership, Dawn. Thank you for your leadership. Search, CMHA, WOTCH. You're doing fantastic work, and you're going to be able to do it even better going forward. I want to say a big thank you to the LIN. Michael and Jeff are here, and they stepped up to make amalgamation possible. There are costs associated with amalgamation, and I understand that no agency wants to divert expenditures from frontline service by taking the step. And the LIN acknowledged that amalgamation does cost money in the beginning for benefits in the long term. And I want to say thank you to the LIN for acknowledging that we can do better when we work together, and that's exactly what's happening today. So congratulations. This is a really important day, and I congratulate you all for making it happen. Thank you.
So now, just give us a minute. We're about to unveil the official name. The best kept secret in town, I'm sure. And so we're just going to, we've got two banners that we're going to unveil officially. And Dave, if you wouldn't mind.
I'd just like to say that actually I had something memorized to what to say, and then I found out I was scripted to read.
Whatever you want. Get that microphone.
Is that louder? On behalf of the clients of CMHA London-Middlesex, WOTCH and Search, I would like to announce that the new name of our community mental health agency is CMHA Middlesex. Thank you.
Twitter handle, Facebook page.
Twitter, Facebook, and website is ready to go. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Southwest Lane Board, Jeff Lowe. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Don. It's a kind introduction. Thank you, Dave, for a great announcement of CMHA Middlesex. It has a nice ring to it. And it's always nice to be with a group of people, of like-minded people, in a day of celebration. And thank you to a minister, obviously, who gets it, and a ministry that gets it. When the work was going on in this amalgamation process, a lot of work was taking place in the LIN offices, and a lot of work was taking place in Search and WOTCH and CMHA. But I could always hear this voice, it sounded like Deb Matthews in the background saying, "Go, go, go." And this group went. Courage, vision, and determination. I think that wraps it up. A couple of years ago, Mike and I met with the leaders of CMHA, Search, and WOTCH in a dingy motel room in the south part of town, and conversation started about what might be. Things took legs after that, and Vicki Stevens from Search, and certainly Mike Petrenko from CMHA, and Don Seymour They had the vision and the courage to lay aside what might have been individual portfolios to look at the greater good and the greater opportunities that were taking place around them. They lifted their heads from the page of what they do day to day and looked around and said, I got an idea. And that idea started to take root. I personally want to thank the volunteers, that's to say the governance, the boards of directors that pulled together to get this work done, in particular the following people: Eric Schatzler, Craig Nix, and Claudia Moya-Reckel from Search, Sue Estabrooks, Bill Chandler, and Heather Bishop from WOTCH, and Elizabeth Abbott, Brian Sones, and Keith Greenbeck from CMHA London-Middlesex. These people were not going to take no for an answer. They dismissed the consultant that was brought forward to help us because he wasn't being that helpful, to be quite frankly, and just put their heads down and took on great determination. They were not going to back down from this opportunity. And the beneficiaries are the clients. The beneficiaries are the citizens of Middlesex County, from far and wide, as the banners say, Exeter, Goderich, London, you name it. It's my hope that this amalgamation will serve as an example for other opportunities, where like-minded people again will lift their heads from the page of what they do day to day and do it very well, and see other opportunities. You know what? We could do that too. And this has been a wonderful exercise. Didn't always go smoothly, I can assure you, at those discussions, but there was never a wavering. There was never at any point in time did someone say, yeah, let's just forget this whole thing and go back to what we do. That just did not happen. And I think it's, I obviously with some bias say, I think it was the governance and the directors that really took the leadership in this role. And the result has been this great opportunity in the CMHA Middlesex. So again, congratulations on behalf of myself and all of the directors at the Southwest Lynn. It's been a pleasure partnering with you in this exercise. It's a day for celebration, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And now I'd like to introduce Michael Barrett, the CEO of the Southwest Lynn.
Thanks very much, Don. And it's nice to see so many familiar faces here in the room. In preparing and for the conversation this morning and talking to all of you here, I realized what impact all of you have had in terms of transforming the mental health care system here in the Southwest Lynn, here in the municipalities, London-Middlesex. So thank you very much for that. I've had the pleasure of presenting at the recognition events for the legacy boards, so for the three legacy organizations, CMHA London-Middlesex, Search, and WOTCH. And during those recognition events, I had the opportunity to talk to staff, and I was really moved by the pride that staff show in the programs and services that they deliver. And I think that pride reflects in the care that they provide for the clients that they serve. And I think that was really the foundation of this whole conversation about what Jeff talked about with the boards, because the board business was difficult. The amalgamation process was challenging. It was long. But the boards knew that at the base foundation of all three organizations, you had great staff, caring professionals that always put clients at the start of that, or at the front of that conversation. So the board had assurance that that care was going to continue to be provided no matter what the organization looked like in the end. We've been really using a report called The Time Is Now, and the author of that report is here in the room, Jim Whaley. That Time Is Now report has helped us identify what our priorities are for our mental health here in the Southwest Lynn, and really across the province. It allowed us to look at how community mental health services are provided. And the three legacy organizations have been living that all along. It's about taking people out of institution, ensuring that they're cared for within the community, cared for in a place where they want to be, in their home or within their community. So that Time Is Now report has been very beneficial for us, reassuring us in our direction, and reassuring us in terms of the investments that our board has to make in terms of mental health and addictions. But the report also identified a need to do things better. It talked about the need to focus on how do we function as a system. And this is something that really hit home with me during this process, is that, does a family physician know where to refer a client or a patient when they come into their office? Does a family member know where to refer a patient or a client? And so I think now we're in a better position with the amalgamation of the three organizations, having one community mental health provider here within the City of London, the County of Middlesex, there's now that direct link to the one organization and that one door that'll ensure that people have the care that they need to be provided with. It's been a long journey. Jeff talked about the 2-year process. The 2-year process has been the amalgamation process, but there's a long legacy of history being in front of that as well. It's 64 years for CMHA, right, Mike? And 43 years for WOTCH, and then it was 30 years for Search. Is that right, Vicki? So 140 years of legacy of those 3 organizations coming together and creating this organization that we have here today. So just before I wrap up, I really want to thank Don for his leadership taking this on, and Claudia. Claudia, both of them have a daunting, challenging task ahead of them, bringing the cultures of these 3 proud organizations together into one. But I think I had the benefit of being at the full staff meeting last Thursday, I guess it was. And I was really, you can feel what the mood is within the room, and it was a mood of a celebration. People were excited about coming together in the new organization. And I know that's going to continue to ensure that we've got providing great care for people within the City of London, the County of Middlesex. So again, this is a time for celebration. And my last comment is that, and I know this will happen with CMHA Middlesex, is that the client needs to be squarely at the front and center of all conversations that we have. So again, on behalf of the Southwest Sun, thanks very much and congratulations.
And, you know, I've said this before, but if there's one thing that we should all give incredible credit to the LIN for is the leadership. And, you know, there were times of despair, and they kept us at the table and they kept us talking. So Jeff and Mike, thank you very much for that, because that's why we're here today. It's my pleasure now to introduce a person who I've just started to get to know, who I will get to know a lot better over the upcoming months and years, and I'm looking forward to working with her. It's our new board chair, Claudia Moore-Echo.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you all for joining us here today, and thank you to Minister Matthews and to Jeff Lowe and Michael Barrett for joining us and for all of the support that the LIN has provided over the last couple of years. I'm just going to continue to reiterate that this wasn't even possible without their continued encouragement. I'm also going to reiterate something that Mike said about the staff meeting last week. So I had the pleasure of attending what I believe was the first all-staff meeting of the new organization. And when I stood sort of at the front of the room and I looked at everyone, I got a little bit of emotional, just looking at what in that moment was the culmination of 2 years of really hard work. And so on behalf of the board, I'd like to say we are so pleased that the amalgamation has completed successfully, and that we're moving forward with the new CMHA. So I'd like to share with you some of the things about this organization that is inspiring in terms of its scope, some of the things that I've learned in the last few weeks. So our organization boasts over 300 exceptional professional mental health employees that will be providing services across 30 locations, including Strathroy, Exeter, Goderich, several locations in London at the Huron Street and Queen's Ave sites, as well as the London Coffee House, My Sister's Place, Crouch Library, the court offices, and more than 20 housing locations throughout the region. The many programs here at CMHA address mental illness, homelessness, addiction, poverty, and service those that are trying to navigate the justice system. And of course, a critical support for mental health is having safe, affordable housing. And so CMHA Middlesex will continue to provide housing with supports, and we look forward to expanding these services throughout the region. We're also very excited about joining the Canadian Mental Health Association family. So we look forward to working with established CMHAs in the province and across the country as we all work towards reducing stigma and providing education on mental illness in the community. A summary of our services is also available on our website, which I think is launching today. Is that true? It's up right now? Okay. This is kind of exciting. Somehow it lives, if it lives on the internet, doesn't it? Like it just lives. So all of our services, the information for which is available on our website, and I have to say a thank you to all of the staff that worked very quickly, I might add, and diligently with our Traction, who donated some of their time to make this happen. So if anybody has time to surf later today at lunch or on their breaks, there's some interesting reading on the website. I'd also like to thank all of the board members of the 3 legacy organizations, again, sort of reiterating that none of them stopped through the 2 years, even when some of the conversations got challenging. So thank you for believing that this was possible, and thank you for bringing us all to this moment. As the chair of the new organization, I would like to say that, this is a new beginning for many of us. I'm honored to be the chair, and we hope to provide guidance, service, governance, support, and if nothing else, maybe just a friendly ear every once in a while to Dawn and the staff. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Claudia. Today, Susan Trupe, our MP, was hoping to be with us, and she cannot. Tim Gadden from her office is here. I said hi earlier. There he is. He's waving. But she did send along a letter, which is my pleasure to read. As the Member of Parliament for London North Centre and Parliamentary Secretary for the Status of Women, I am delighted to extend warm greetings to everyone attending the official unveiling of London's new amalgamated mental health organisation. Together, CMHA London-Middlesex, WOTCH, and Search Community Mental Health Services have served the communities of London and surrounding counties for a combined total of 143 years. Without their dedication, our community would not be what it is today. It is no exaggeration to say that these 3 organizations have changed London, Middlesex County, and countless individuals for the better. While they have made tremendous strides on their own, when these 3 are combined, there is no limit to the possible achievements or impact of our new amalgamated mental health organization. You will change the face of mental health in our community. On behalf of the Government of Canada, I would like to thank all of the people who gave of their time and energy to ensure the successful creation and launch of London and Middlesex County's new mental health organization, and I look forward to working with you for many years to come. Sincerely, Susan Trupe. So, again, Dave, Claudia, Minister Matthews, Jeff, Mike, thank you for being here and helping us launch this new organization. I think you see now that this was a collaborative effort, and many hands and a lot of hearts have gone into creating this new organization. And we need to talk about the 3 teams that are joining to become one team who, in their own way have walked this journey with us, constantly wondering when, constantly wondering what, and some of that uncertainty is still out there, but certainly to reflect on our meeting last week, a lot of positive energy are looking towards the future and how we can improve services in our communities. One of the things that has become a bit of a theme for all of us is the theme of hope and how hopeful people are for this new organization. And to draw a comparison, when a person is in the depths of despair, when they have a mental illness, and they make that phone call to us, there's hope in that phone call. There's hope that we will have what they need to find wellness and recovery. And so we start this new organization with hope, and we also have to realize that our community partners are investing a lot of hope into this new organization. And when we look at people like London Police Services, Regional Mental Health Care, London Health Sciences, our partners at Addiction Services of Thames Valley, our partners in the homelessness outreach community, they're all hopeful that we will find new ways to partner and new ways to collectively enhance the work they're doing so that those who are most in need no longer fall between the cracks. And we have to acknowledge we've been given a gift. And all of us in this room who work in the sector be given a gift to really examine the work we do and how we do it, and look at how we can do it. I don't want to use the word better, but how we can use the knowledge we have to reach more people and maybe to do things a little differently than the way we've done them before. And so that's a gift I think you don't get very often in our sector. And so it's up to us to make sure that we use it wisely and that when we're done, people who need mental health services get them when they need them, where they need them. No small task. So all of you who are our partners in this room, you know the challenges that we'll be facing over the upcoming weeks and months and the next couple of years, and we will be leaning on you heavily to help us get through some of these challenges, as I know you will be leaning on us to look at new ways to partner. So thank you very much for being here and celebrating this day, and we look forward to working with you in the future.